Hey. How's everybody? Doing all right? Wednesday night, hump day. It's amazing how these weeks just fly by.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how everybody else feels, but man, these weeks fly by. But anyway, Wednesday evening, we're this fan's view. Welcome, Joe Stinger. We can always count on our number one guy. Little birdie Joe told me you're going to be making an appearance in Havertown sometime this summer. So I need confirmation on that before the show's over. But welcome, everybody. Hey, John, we got to take a couple of minutes to thank JP from Passyunk Ave again and again for last week's show. Absolutely outstanding. Oh, where'd Johnny go?
I don't know. We're still here.
We're still here, and John disappeared.
He can't leave the show in our hands. That would be, I guess maybe he didn't want to thank JP.
I don't know. Joe Stinger's coming up in the beginning of August. There you go. So I won't miss him because I check out at the end of July for vacation. Mm-hmm. So we'll get to see you, Joey. Can't wait.
Did you send JP a mystery box yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Because as I talked, I wanted to get some new T-shirts done, mm-hmm. and I want to include those.
Cool.
So we need to finish up on that. Yeah, and I'll put a mystery box together. That's definitely in our hands.
Cool.
So, but yeah, I mean, it was just totally, I thought a lot about it. Some of the stuff that that I didn't know. Just the simple fact of him being from South Philly.
Right.
Right. born and raised in South Philly. His family still lives there. Relatives up and down the East Coast, I think he said, from New York to Washington. And just, his story certainly outweighs my story about me quitting my job and starting a business. But they're on equal paths, right? He was an exec, doing a fine job, making a good living. And, he woke up one day and decided, I don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
And I just thought he was his whole demeanor, the way he came across, and, he was just so good and so sharing and so wonderful. But I'll think about that show for a long time.
It was a good one. Yeah.
Because I know I probably will never get to London,
right,
to experience Passyunk Ave.
Right.
But you're right, Joe. It is a storybook. It's it's one that he's probably extremely proud of as he opens dive bar number 4, this summer. So, hey, if anybody sees John O'Brien, could you let him know that he checked out of the show and he left Lauren and I in charge?
I don't know where he went, what happened, but somehow it's just you and I.
I don't know either. But anyway,
Here we go.
What's that?
The show must go on.
It must. And as long as the two of us are here, we got a show. But anyway, he was so excited to talk about the fantasy baseball and how spots 1 through 20, there was only like a 300-point deficit between that group. And that Tony was slowly catching up with Jen. Jen was getting nervous. So I'm sure if we find them, I hope.
Do we think that Jen is making these picks, or
well?
You know what? You think that maybe John has sabotaged Jen's account?
I've thrown. I don't put anything past John and his son Tyler. You know what I mean? They're very competitive. Very very, very competitive, just as you saw a couple of weeks ago out there in Reading throwing out a first pitch.
Right, right.
So it would not surprise me a little bit. And Jen's just playing the good, the good wife, the good mother, role. And yeah, sure, you can use my name.
Right.
So, but
okay.
Yeah, so he was pretty excited. He's pretty excited about the whole spreadsheet thing. So yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll just have to come back to that portion.
We're gonna have to.
Okay.
We're definitely gonna have to. I just checking on one thing here.
Okay, I got an update from Johnny. The power went out at the store.
Oh.
So he's trying to get reconnected. Somehow, the power going out, we've still maintained this live show.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. The power of the internet.
Yep.
And
he doesn't have air.
And yeah, now he doesn't have air conditioning, so he's going to be one. He's going to be one pissed off hombre. I can tell you that.
Okay.
But yeah, no Harper, no Rojas either tonight. Both were banged up in last night's game, Joe. But I think there's still enough power. Only Carl's Cards power went out.
Only in that store.
I don't know. They still have more problems with that that underground unit over there by Buccelli's. They were working on it again, so I'm sure it had something to do with it.
Right.
But
maybe a storm's about to roll through there.
Could be. But probably what's the least favorite thing that? Well, John likes talking about everything, so I hate really, dancing around, and not having John involved. But we can talk a little bit about Nana, your Nana, my mom. To thank everybody, for the continued prayers and thoughts and prayers for her as she battles, and she's battling. I won't mix words. We could write a book on her, but she's a battler, and she was transferred from Fitzgerald Mercy last Friday to Jefferson down in the city.
Yep.
And there's some amazing things that they can do to the body when they need to start running some crazy tests and things that you never even thought of and whatnot. But I know Lauren and I, we were shocked as anybody the other day when we were there. What was it, Sunday?
Yep.
We had gotten word that she had opened her eyes, and was
Did
starting.
You know that going in?
I thought
I didn't.
I thought the nurse said something to me that they were trying to keep her eyes dropped because they got a whole lot crusty and from being shut for so long. And to give people an update, it's 2 weeks today that she went to the hospital. We don't know, where the infection came from, how it came to be. But here's Johnny checking back in. So
I'm back.
Welcome back, Cotter.
I mean, we didn't know what to do, John.
I know.
We were without our fearless leader.
I know. I was listening. You guys did good. And you're taking shots at me with Tyler and being competitive. I just want you to know, Anthony was very kind enough to send me the stat cast of the first pitches for Tyler and myself. And just so you know, there's my pitch right there. At the top right of the zone, it was a strike, and then Tyler's was right down the middle for a strike.
We don't know how accurate that stat cast is.
Oh, it's very accurate.
Wow,
It's
well.
official from
You asked
Anthony. So
you
it's gotta
asked
be.
99 out of 100 of them umpires, and yours was 3 feet wide.
Yeah, well, it caught the very corner. It was a strategical pitch.
You're pretty proud of that, aren't you?
I am. It was good. I was quick on that.
Meanwhile, Tyler's dead on, right down the middle.
He threw a meatball that went over the fence. I mean, big deal. It was good. It was like that Bobby Miller yesterday pitching for the Dodgers.
And the poor kid got sent back today.
He did. Yeah.
That's what happens when you give up 10 runs to the Phillies.
Exactly. And giving up
All
a
right.
home run to Bryson Stott too.
Now that you're back, and we love you. We absolutely love you.
It's all good. We have fun. That's what
We
do.
love you. We thought your bag of ice melted, and so did you. So
Well, the ice did melt, and ice and electric doesn't work well, so that's what shut the power off.
it turns the water, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Enough of the shenanigans. Let's get caught up on the fantasy baseball so we can move on.
Absolutely. Yep. We got to move on because we might be having a new leader next week when we get here because Tony has been pulling up real fast here. He's 18 points behind right at the moment, so he's doing well. As you can see, Carl, there you're there at 7th spot. You're hanging right in there, about 100 and some points away. So you're doing well. And
Thanks.
yeah. So you're doing the show well, and then we got. Jen's still in the lead. She's tried to give everybody a little bit of a chance to catch up. When she had Bryce Harper, she kept him on her roster and instead of moving on from it like everybody else did. But
yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, so.
Interesting.
So so she, Anthony had a big week. Anthony had a big week there with Will Smith having the 4 home runs and 4 at bats in a row. So that pulled him up there nicely. So yeah, and then finished up the spreadsheet for the fantasy football for next year or for this upcoming year. So we're I'm becoming a spreadsheet master here now. Coming up with a lot of new tricks on how to save myself a lot of time.
Well,
there you go.
We're going to save an awful lot of money on paper too.
Exactly. I won't be needing that whole binder. It's a 3-inch
I'm like,
binder.
John,
right
where's all the paper go? I look over at his binder, and they're like this. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
It's all good. You do a great job.
Yeah.
Only you could do it. So.
Yeah. When they tell us that it can't be done for finding a spreadsheet, we got it done.
All right.
So yeah, I'm glad everybody's enjoying it.
Well, we got Emily on the board, so I guess she's not at the cabana, or what do they call that? Where did the lagoon, or what is it called?
The lagoon, yeah.
The lagoon, right?
Yeah.
Her and Henry have taken over citizenship at the lagoon. They're there all the time.
Yeah, I think Emily's back on the show because Henry dropped out of the top 20, so she's happy.
Oh.
So,
we are at the lagoon. See?
Yeah. 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 I think Henry's spending a little bit too much time at the lagoon, so he's falling back on his fantasy baseball there. He was there at the top of the board there. Now he's dropping.
All that alcohol on a work night. That can't be good for you.
Yep.
I particularly like Mom's comment.
Would it?
Right above Emily.
Are they boxes of?
Boxes of Amoroso rolls?
Oh, no, they are mini helmets.
Oh, looks like boxes.
They are
Rolls coming in.
they are mini helmets that I thought I did a real nice job organizing for tomorrow night.
Yes, they are. We're all prepared for it. And what's going to happen tomorrow? Quinniat Mitchell tomorrow, sitting right here where I'm at.
Q.
Yep. No block ice. You won't be needing that. But
big thank you to Q for running it on his Instagram page. If you guys haven't seen it, Instagram's been hot for us this week. We got Carlos De La Cruz because he went from AA to AAA. We thanked him. Lauren, who runs our social media like a champ. She also thanked Matt Strom. and he came back with a big thank you. So it's great to interact with these guys and stay in touch.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've had a lot of the fellas over the years, and some we're able to stay in contact with. Probably the biggest is Derek Hall. Since his days in Reading, right on up through AAA, the majors.
Yep.
So it's a lot of fun. Working with these guys. For me, it's I like to have fun, and we had fun with Matt Strom breaking a few boxes after the signing. That was pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And talking to some of the other guys, that we've had in about, like Kirkering talking about cards and that sort of thing. So it's a lot of fun. It's been a fun year for us as well as the Phillies. John, 59 and 32.
Yes, very well. Best team in baseball.
Yeah. None of us had these expectations. Nobody.
Yeah, no, I don't think this high. No, we knew they were a good team. And they typically come out on a slower start. But this year they came out on fire right away, and it's nice to see that they're taking care of business against the everybody wants to complain about not playing good teams up until recently here with the Dodgers and stuff like that. But
you got to play the schedule.
Well, you got to play your schedule exactly, and they want to complain that we haven't played anybody, but we've gone through those years. Losing to the Nationals or losing to the Marlins in games, and they're taking care of business. Or the White Sox that were struggling, they would have lost a game or two. So, no, this team's playing really well. I think it all comes down to their pitching. Is keeping them in games a lot.
Well, you got three guys with 10 or more wins.
Right.
It's never happened in Phillies history.
Exactly.
Right. You got 7 guys going to the All-Star game.
Yeah, and if guys were healthy, then we probably would have been more.
Yep. So I mean, the team has been very, very successful, and I know we make fun of it. Probably you and I more so than anybody because we spend a lot of time together.
Right.
When the roster or when the lineups come out every night and we see who's batting 6, 7, 8, 9.
Right.
We kind of just shake our head. You know what I mean, and try to figure out how they do it. But the bottom of that lineup has been producing.
They have.
They may be infield hits or they may be walks, but you chip in. With how about the job that the Marchand's done since he's been recalled?
Yeah. I mean,
who would have thunk that?
Yeah. No, exactly. He's making it hard for the Phillies. I mean, obviously they're going to stay with Stubbs, but in a normal situation, he would be making it really hard for them not to keep him on the team when JT comes back. And we had talked about it here at the store. Do you carry 3 catchers,
right?
Just to have that extra bat. Give JT a little bit extra time off.
I'm all for it. I think that would be a brilliant move.
Right. And then maybe Pache's the one on the odd man out at that point. I think it's this team's special. It really is. And
well, like Joe said, the job that Trey Turner's done, since Schwarber and Harper went out, continued again last night with a grand slam. You know.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's the whole thing. JT's been out. Stubbs and Marchand have been playing well in his spot. Amanda Sosa, when Turner was out, was doing well. Bohm picked it up a little bit with his power recently since Harper went down in these 10 games that he was out. So it seems like the guys are really picking themselves up. Everybody else. So Nick Castellanos,
it's interesting because just a few short years ago, you had the likes of Bryson Stott at Double-A.
Right.
You know what I mean? You had Alec Bohm at Double-A. These guys, Ranger. Johan Rojas.
Christopher Sanchez. I mean,
It's we make fun of the Phillies organization for not moving their young players along and not developing young players. We can't say that anymore.
No. Well, it's a good thing having. It just shows having a good GM what a team can do. Especially when you have an owner like Middleton that wants to spend money. They got 5 or 6 guys in the top 100 prospects now. When have the Phillies ever had that many? They haven't. Mattingly down in Preston Mattingly down in the minor leagues is really doing a good job getting that farm system in the shape where they need to be.
Yeah.
It's compared to the Clintack and McPhail era, and then moving into this with Dombrowski, it's light and days. How much better this organization
100%.
is completely.
Hey, Lauren, the other night after the game, when we saw Carlos, leaving in that big old box of bats, do you think he knew then? Do you think he had any idea that he needed to start cleaning out his locker?
I don't know. I mean,
we're going to miss him. We used to have a lot of fun with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I don't know how early those guys sort of get like grumblings of that stuff. Or if they're just as surprised as we are.
Right.
So you would hope that they kind of have an idea, especially with him, because he does have a child and a significant other who, he has to make arrangements for. So my guess would probably be that he has a general idea that he was making his way elsewhere.
Yeah. You're right, Joe. Very, very cordial, friendly with the fans. No, doesn't turn an autograph away. You just love guys like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just absolutely love, their whole attitude, mentality, the way they approach the game. And that smile is so like crazy. I don't know if he ever has a bad day. I want some of that water.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I remember that picture that you and him took a few years ago, Joe, down there in Clearwater. Hi from Antonio in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a big fan of yours. All right. Well, welcome. Thank you. Welcome to the show. We do this every Wednesday night, sometimes remotely from our homes, and sometimes we're on location.
Mm-hmm.
On location, having a brewski and talking silly sports.
Yeah.
Yep.
We enjoy it.
John, I guess the biggest question that I have before we leave the topic of the Phillies, what are they going to do at the deadline? What do you've seen a lot of what Dombrowski does do? Do you think a big move's coming, and where do you think it's going to be?
I definitely think there's going to be a move made, and they need a right-handed bat, desperately. I'm all for this trade for Brent Rooker from the Oakland Athletics. I think he's, would be a perfect fit. He's just a hard-nosed player, batting 278, I think, with like 18 home runs right now. And he's got control until 2027. He'd be a nice piece. And he's not like that big flashy name that's going to cost you a lot. Like Luis Roberts, would be another piece that would be nice. But I think he would cost a little bit more to get him. And he's often hurt a lot. So I don't know.
You think Oakland will throw in their closer on that deal?
Possibility, depending on we throw a little bit more into it. Yeah. And
that would be all in. That would be all in if you ask me.
Right. Well, that would be exactly. That would be the other piece. Maybe, a guy that you can put into that closer, even just another piece in the bullpen, just so you have a little bit more flexibility there.
Yeah.
And then that way you could put Marsh and Rojas in center field and let them platoon it out, out there, because they'd be a perfect platoon, being right-handed, left-handed.
And then Rooker would play left field.
He'd play left field, and then if you wanted to, late innings, hopefully with the lead, you move Marsh over to left field and let Rojas play center field.
Well, they come to town this weekend, so maybe they'll pack an extra big bag and they can stay.
That would be nice, and it's going to be it's going to be soon. It's not it's going to happen soon because it's the end of the month. We'll find out. And they don't, I think it's like last year. They don't have that second. You don't have the waiver.
Right. Yeah, you just have that one
right.
period of trade deadline, and that's it.
Yeah, so I mean, you're going to see a lot of things moving on, and and plus it also is another thing because that's a guy that the Braves might be looking at as well.
Well, that was my next point because the Yankees, the Braves, the Dodgers,
right?
The teams that are all up there in contention, they're gonna want to add a piece or two also.
Well, they're gonna add a piece, but the good thing about the Phillies, those teams need to get pitching. All the teams that you had just said, the Dodgers need pitching, the Yankees need pitching, the Braves need pitching with Strider going down. So that's going to put them into another avenue for trades, and then take a lot of their bigger prospects away.
That's a good point.
Where the Phillies can kind of slide under the radar there and go get a guy that they would fit their team perfectly. They don't need pitching.
Let's ask our friend Antonio here. He lives in Baltimore, Maryland. Are you an Orioles fan? Because now you talk about a good young squad.
Yeah.
I mean, them boys can rake, and they could use a little bit of pitching. But that's a good young team down there in Baltimore if he's an Orioles fan.
Yeah. I mean, and that's that's going to be huge for the Phillies, which I don't think a lot of people, realize, not needing to go crazy on pitching. Yeah. If you add a piece in the bullpen, that's nice. But if you don't, okay, you can live with what you got. Would it be nice to get one? Yeah.
Well,
sure.
they're starting to get a little thin out there.
Well, a little bit, but I think this break's going to help them a lot, with the All-Star break.
Okay.
Get guys going, and
all right.
I think they'll be fine,
all right,
pitching wise.
All right.
If they get that right-handed bat, that'll be nice.
All right.
For that.
All right, let's move on to the 76ers because I don't know about you guys, but I don't even know this team.
Brand new team.
Brand new team, and boy, did Maury pull a page out of Howie Roseman's how to be a general manager and critique the salary cap?
It's looking that way. Lauren, what do you think?
Sure seems like it. Yeah, sure seems like it.
Well, you got Paul George, right? You signed Paul George. He was the big piece, I guess, that they were chasing all along. I mean, he got the biggest deal of any free agent this year.
Yeah.
Do you think that was always kind of in the works?
I do. I really do, because, all the other names were kind of like talked about, and, everybody was done in 30 seconds, and it always came back to Paul George.
Right. I mean, the reality was LeBron was never coming here.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And frankly, I don't, at the tail end of his career, would we have embraced him here in Philly? Absolutely. But would he have been the piece that we actually needed to win? I don't know about that.
I'm really looking forward to the Sixers, with Maxey and Embiid and Paul George. And now they've added, what's the kid's name? Khalib Martin from the Heat.
Yep.
I can remember a couple of years ago, he torched us in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's a sneaky good pick right there. For him to come here, and
he
and a lot less money to come here to Philadelphia too.
Well, that was my point, John. I mean, what was the incentive? Because isn't Miami a playoff team as well?
They are. I mean, I think Maury, let him know he would be a starter here, and I don't think he was getting the starting minutes. Good point. In Miami there.
Yep.
So
yeah, he was definitely a bench player in Miami, and he started when there were injuries. But he's a nice player. He's a real nice player. And then you you throw in Drummond coming back to Philly.
Yeah, that's a nice pick.
That's a great pickup. To back up Embiid, and he gives you solid minutes and plays hard all the time.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
So,
I mean, they got a little bit of work still to do because they got 10 players on the team, but as it is right now, I mean, it's pretty solid. We'll see how they can gel together, and be able to play, quickly in 1 year. Going up, especially once it gets to the playoff time, it's a little bit tougher at that point. But having Nick Nurse as the coach, I think it's good.
He made the Eric Gordon signing official today.
Right.
Nice veteran piece to come off the bench. I think they're looking to bring Kyle Lowry back.
Yeah, I think that's coming soon.
So this team's coming together nicely. I know just a couple of weeks ago, if you listen to sports talk radio in this town, there wasn't going to be a 76ers team.
Right. Not true.
Yeah.
I think they surprised all of us, to be honest. I wasn't really expecting this many moves this quickly, kind of all on top of each other. So I feel like these things had been in the works for a while. And the Paul George thing, I don't know if you guys caught some of his interviews and stuff, but he does a podcast as well.
Yep.
And he had such great things to say about Joel Embiid months ago, before he was even his teammate. And I just feel like that level of respect that another basketball player can show to a guy that's not even on your team sort of just shows the maturity level that Paul George has. And I just feel like we've been missing that. James Harden is not a mature basketball player. Ben Simmons was not a mature basketball player. We've sort of tried that. And I think Paul sort of understands his lane and where he can contribute and what to enhance Joel Embiid's game, and not try to figure out who's going to be able to go to bat sort of against him to see who can be the bigger front man, but instead to complement him. So I feel like the three of those guys, with Maxey being included, working together is kind of promising for what this season looks like ahead. I certainly, coming off of last season and what I thought this offseason would look like, I did not think we'd be having this conversation in the beginning of July.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I hope that gives them a lot of time to mesh, because they interviewed Joel Embiid not too long ago. He's out in Vegas getting ready for the Olympics. And he said, the biggest thing is just going to be kind of how we all gel together. So hopefully getting all of this in place now allows them a lot of practice time together to be able to make that gel happen a little bit quicker. But I'm not happy that they let Paul Reed go. I just have to put that out.
He was one of our guys.
I know.
He was one of our guys. We bonded very nicely with him when he was in the store. But I don't want the Paul George story to get away, but without me giving props to him wearing number 8.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
You talk about maturity. You talk about respect. You talk about the Black Mamba. You're talking about Kobe Bryant. And I got chills. I got chills when he picked number 8. I thought that was the coolest.
He reminds you a little bit of the Bryce Harper of the Sixers, where he hasn't played here yet. He doesn't really know too much about Philadelphia, but he did something to kind of initiate himself into the city.
He wooed the crowd in. Yep.
Exactly. Yep. Just like Harper did, embracing the fanatic, embracing the, something that would pull at Philadelphia fans' heartstrings.
Yep.
Kobe obviously never played for the Sixers, but being from this area, it's a nice way to tie all that together. So I would agree on that one.
Kobe was a big Eagles fan. The family was from Philly, went to school in Philly. I just thought that was a beautiful thing. So,
did you guys happen to catch the tribute that they did to Tyrese Maxey, the video?
I haven't seen that. No.
So the Sixers set up this it was almost like when you walk through a museum. It was very interactive, but it highlighted all of the things that he's done throughout his career so far to this point. Dr. J was there. They had a video from Don Staley. There was just all these really cool. His family was there. Nick Nurse was there, obviously. There was just, it was like a thank you to Tyrese Maxey for kind of sticking with the Sixers, letting them go out and get these bigger pieces and sort of underpay Tyrese for a while there. And then, you know, he finally got his big contract this offseason. But it's a really cool video. He gets teary-eyed and emotional. And I've never seen them do that for a player before.
Wow.
It was really cool. That's where the rumors started with them bringing back the old school jerseys.
Right. He was holding the black jersey.
Yes. So it's in that video that
I thought of you right away.
Yep. Yep. I'm pressing it out into the universe that this happens.
Who did you have? You had Aaron McKee, right?
No, I had Eric Snow.
Eric Snow.
Kyle Korver and Allen Iverson are the 3 jerseys. And I still have them. But Dr. J hands him this jersey, and Joel Embiid is there too. Sorry, he's also there. He hands him this black jersey, and you can only see the back of it. Well, then he flips it around, and it's this old school Sixers logo on the front. So that's how all of this came to sort of fruition, because Joel Embiid even comments on how cool they are. And that's how this whole thing has taken off. So I don't know if that's a tease to see what the fans will say if they bring it back. I'd be a big fan of that. I mean, I do love the current Sixers logo, which is something they brought back from before that. So I get that part of it. But if this was kind of like an alternate uniform, like maybe that's their City Connect for this year.
Yeah.
I'd be in on that one. So lots of good Sixers stuff happening right now.
You'll be adding a Maxey jersey to your collection?
I am thinking about that. I have considered that. That could be my new Sixers jersey and a Saquon Barkley for my Eagles collection.
Wow.
Well, you knew that was coming with the Penn State connection right there.
Right.
But you know the best thing about this whole offseason with the Sixers is Morey hasn't given up any of those draft picks.
Yep.
You know, which is the best. You know, because that's important when you're doing, you know, trades down the line. You know, in season later on, getting some guys that could help the team for that final push. That was the biggest part of this whole thing. And call it lucky, call it whatever you want. Paul George is here. You know, I mean.
So we're loving Daryl Morey today.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, we still got a few pieces to still put together, but you know, Marcus Morris would be nice to get him back. You know, give him another key to the city, since he traded him after he gave him the key last time.
I saw his name in an article.
Yeah, you know, Robert Covington's another one that needed to come back. And
did you guys happen to catch? So when these guys get traded or they don't get re-signed by the team they're on, they normally do like a thank you to wherever. Like Paul Reed put up his thank you to Philly. One player in particular did not do a thank you post and instead just went right into their new team. Any guesses on who that was?
Tobias Harris.
Correct. No mention of Philadelphia whatsoever. No thank you. Nothing. Just fully embracing the fact that he's back with Detroit and that he's ready to run it back.
So he gave Philly the big FU.
I guess. I mean, we kind of gave him a lot of FUs for a while when he was here. Not that he didn't deserve them, but no.
For 5 years.
No thank you to Philly. And of course, where is Paul Reed going? Detroit.
Yeah.
The Motor City. That's it'll be a good young team up there. They got, you know, hey,
I have no idea what they have.
Good luck to him. I know one player, Cade Cunningham. He was the number one pick a couple of years ago. They had the kid out of Villanova, but they let him go rather quickly. Saquon Bay.
Yeah,
he was a Villanova kid, but hey,
I'm to play.
You know what? I am. You know, we got the Phillies, they just about fill up the back page of the sports page every day.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, yeah, you're looking at the Sixers, what they've done just in the past week. What the Birds have been able to do, and we're all amped up. Training camp opens in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We're super excited there. The Flyers have taken a different approach because they were in a bad spot, with a lot of bad contracts, so they kind of had to kind of get them off the board. But now, we got this young kid coming over from Russia,
Hitchcock.
and he's got us all amped up. I know he's got me amped up. You know what I mean? But I got to take, and if you guys are okay moving on from the Sixers,
Yeah.
just for this week, because I think there's going to be plenty of Sixer talk.
Oh yeah.
Following up, but the Flyers and they parted ways with Carter Hart.
Yeah.
They held the last ink pen there to put him on contract if something was to go there, and they felt the need to just part their separate ways. And
I think that's probably for the best. That probably
it is. From
a PR nightmare.
From a standpoint of where we are today in our society with everything, that's the last thing that they needed, where they're trying to rebuild the image, right? They're trying to rebuild the image of the new era of orange and black.
But would their thought process have changed if that kid wasn't coming over? What would that have looked like?
That's a great question. They have another Russian kid who happens to be a goalie as well. So I don't know. I don't know if he's on the same level as where Carter was.
Right.
You know what I mean? I still think the Flyers need a goalie. I really do. I think they need a number one. We lost Johnny again. So
is the kid coming over not a goalie?
He is not.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought he was.
He's not a goalie. He's a high scoring machine.
Got it. Okay.
That's got everybody amped up.
Okay.
There's Jack. They knew Hart was gone when they signed Fedotov.
Mm-hmm.
We pretty much all thought that, but I didn't know that they were going to let Carter walk and not get anything. You know what I mean? So,
but do you think it would, if there was a little bit closer? You're so far away from knowing what's going to happen with them that it's kind of tough with Carter. That's
just a very bad situation, and like Lauren said, you want to kind of wash your hands of that.
At this point,
it's a bad situation for all five of those guys, for the Canadian Hockey League, for Team Canada. And I'd like to know the backstory, because the Flyers had to have known, what I mean? And, kind of kept their mouth shut, hoping for the best maybe. But I'm jacked up for the Flyer season. I saw they were down in Florida, down in Ocean City, New Jersey today. The summer caravan is making its way around, and they had a bunch of the alumni guys, of course, but they also had some of the young players were down there signing autographs as well.
Yeah.
So they're putting them out there. You know what I mean? They're putting them out there. They're in, I believe, Sea Isle City tomorrow. So Danny Briere, Keith Jones, they're doing a great job. They really are. They're going about it the long way, with a rebuild and taking their time. But I think at the end, it's going to be well worth it. And, hopefully before not too long, we could be in the Stanley Cup Finals. Who knows? Fingers crossed.
Exactly.
It feels a little bit more like the Ed Snyder way than it has in a long time.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah. I mean, the only problem was Ed wasn't a patient man. He wanted to win every game. He wanted to win at no cost. So,
Yeah.
Well, Jack's given me a goaltending update that our prospects are top ranked in all of hockey. Well, John and I, we talk about prospects every day. I swear that's part of our dialogue every day. I don't care what sport it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're prospects until they prove themselves, right?
Exactly. I mean, but we were talking today with that Bobby Miller. He was a big top prospect for the Dodgers. Tommy John, ruined them. And now like I said, he got sent back. I mean, it's they either help you win by being on the team, or they help you win by being traded. That's what they're there for.
Yep.
No matter which sport you're playing.
So I kind of jumped around after our 76er segment, which was pretty hot. I jumped around with the Flyers and the Birds and Flyers. What are you guys looking? I know the Philly, we got the All-Star break coming up after this week. Looking past, the baseball season, what are you guys most looking forward to?
After the baseball season, like what sport am I most looking forward to?
Yeah.
Oh, the Sixers.
Sixers. I figured that. We're gonna have some different opinions here because I know where John's going because
we just had a swear bomb.
Do we? Yeah.
Yep. Looking right over your left shoulder there. He's back.
I see it now.
Yep.
That man's amazing.
Oh yeah.
That man.
Even yesterday, he was hitting the ball right on the screws yesterday.
Is it 1-0?
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm just sitting here actually thinking on our off days when we're not live, we're going to have to make the show 2 hours long because we're like 47 minutes into the show. We really haven't talked to Eagles much. So, we're going to have three teams, four with the Phillies in the playoffs, and then the other three teams going.
How awesome is this?
Yeah,
how friggin' awesome is this?
This is as good as it gets in Philadelphia here. I mean,
we start the bird season off over in Brazil.
Yeah.
Against the Packers. I mean, it's not an easy schedule by no means.
No.
But the Eagles they got some talented boys on that squad.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun to go here.
You got the best two receivers in all of football.
Right. Plus a tight end. You throw in there, top 5, 10.
I feel like we've been waiting for him every year.
Yeah, but I think with the new coordinator here, the Dallas Cowboys tight ends were always big with him.
Did they just go back to back, or was that a foul ball?
Foul ball, yeah, foul ball.
Okay. Now you got me looking over the corner.
Yeah. and looking in the mirror to see the TV.
Right.
Yeah, no, they got tight ends for the Cowboys were always used heavily. So, it'll be interesting to see how they get Goddard involved into this offense because you also got Saquon Barkley to go. You got 4 beasts to feed. And the best part about the whole thing is I think it's going to just take the pressure off of Jalen Hurts, not having to run the ball as much as he does, not having to do the tush push as much because you're going to give it to Saquon Barkley now to do it because it's not. It'll preserve his career, not having to push like he did.
Let me ask you this because I know you really enjoy football and you dissect it like nobody's business. How do you think they effectively use those 4 weapons, and how do they spread that ball around? Because they've never had a running back like Barkley.
No,
they've never. I don't care who the coordinator was. They've never had the talented 2 wide receivers, that
right.
we have now. How do you keep everybody happy?
That's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, they're going to have to score 40 points a game, to keep everybody happy.
Sure.
Because it.
So like I should take Hurts on my fantasy then? Is that the number 1 pick?
it's going to be interesting. We were kind of going back and forth about this. I don't know. I don't know how Hurts is going to have, if he's going to take a little bit of a step backwards, and not because, for his play, but, he had a lot of rushing touchdowns. He had like 13, 14 rushing touchdowns, a year, along with his passing touchdowns. So I don't know if you're going to see a lot of those rushing touchdowns like he did, because Barkley's going to steal, hopefully, a lot of them because of what he does. He should have a lot more passing touchdowns, so I guess it will, kind of balance it out a little bit.
So you're trying to trick me into not taking Hurts so you can take him?
Well, maybe. There's always.
I see. I see your brain already spinning.
Team under Jen's name.
But
he's going right past that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well,
he heard us earlier and he made no comment.
No, I know why I did. I didn't get to that part. I saw your dad doing the winks and everything too. There, she picked them all. It was all funny names. That was how she went.
Hey, we got plenty of time. Lauren, are we doing the John segment?
John's rant, Lauren's layup. But before we get to that, I do have a question while we're on the Eagles. How much, we talk about receivers, running backs, all the new additions to the team in the offseason, but how much of an adjustment will it be for the offense to not have Jason Kelce at center? How long will that take for them to sort of get their bearings? Because, he's pretty much been in that spot for 13 seasons as an anchor that they've always been able to rely on. Now you got some flip-flopping of where guys are playing to kind of fill in that spot. How much does that impact Hurts and the guys?
Well, Jurgens has taken over, right, John? He's going to be the starting center.
That's what they're saying, yeah.
I don't want to be him.
No.
I don't want to be him following Kelce's career. I'm sorry. No disrespect to Jurgens. He could be a stud himself. But you know how much it took Kelce to get going and how many bad years he had during those 13 years.
They need a John O'Brien to be the center for 1 year, just as a buffer, and then let Johnson come out there. You just need somebody to go out there and show that they're not as good as Kelce. And
John O'Brien's not even a football name. Come on.
Well,
come on.
Could be.
Just
come on.
You just need some fat guy to go sit in the middle of the line up there and just block. let some guys go. Just point over here, like, hey, watch the guys coming from over here. It's just, but that's where it's going to be the most important part. As far as the line calls, because Jason was very vital. Telling even Jalen Hurts, hey, not that play. Hey, Jalen would try to switch with them, and they're yelling at each other. No, I got it. This is where it's coming, and. It'll be a little interesting for Jurgens.
You know what the coolest thing would be? To be able to watch a football game with Jason Kelce, an Eagles football game as he dissects and calls out. Now, I'm sure they'll be changing up plays, but he still knows formations and, he knows direction and that sort of thing. But how cool would that be?
Well, that would be great.
How cool would that be to watch a football game with Jason Kelce?
They should auction that off for Eagles autism.
Right.
We're going to get a little taste of that on Monday nights, though. A little bit. I'm hoping, that he gets to do, some of that stuff.
Yeah, but he's just doing pregame.
Well, yeah. Hopefully soon we'll get, because that Monday night crew could use a Jason Kelce once he gets.
Oh, the personality is unbelievable. But before we shift gears again or hike the ball and move on, that Jurgens kid, right? Not that he didn't have enough pressure on him already.
Yeah,
he moved him into Kelce's locker.
Yeah. That's
his new locker where Kelce was.
And Jason Kelce basically, drafted him, went out and searched for him and, with Howie and said, this is the guy to go get. So no pressure. No pressure.
No
Go out
pressure.
there, kid.
None.
Go out there, kid.
None.
You're following a Hall of Famer. Go out there and be as good.
Yep.
Because we're supposed to win the Super Bowl this year.
Good stuff. 2 weeks away. We'll pick Q's brain tomorrow night. Hopefully he's got some some rookie hazing, that he can experience, that he's experienced already.
I just love that he was busting AJ Brown's chops, saying that when he went out for a route and told him it was trash. For a rookie to be, telling AJ Brown that he's not running the right route properly. I think that's pretty cool, personally.
Hey, have you seen any recent pictures of AJ Brown? Is he jacked or what?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well,
I mean, I don't know if he put 20 pounds of muscle on or what, but he just seems so jacked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he's a gym rat. We know that from the experiences when he's been sitting here that he's just, all game. It's all about getting better, which is a great thing.
Joe Stinger, great question. Do I think Kelsey's number should be retired? 110%.
Oh yeah.
110%. Brian Brown, it will be, and he will be going to Canton. I don't know. Is he first ballot? I mean, that's a tough spot.
I think he's first ballot because of the extra stuff you get along with that.
Yeah.
Well, you get a lot of Kelsey stuff, don't you?
Well, that plus he's already into that TV right now. So like he's got 5 years that he's going to be into the TV, where you see a lot of these guys that are, 3-4 years and they're like a year or two away from being into the Hall of Fame, and then they go on TV, to get that extra push, where Jason's getting it right from the start. So
yeah.
I mean, you get, anytime something happens to Jason or Travis, you get the other one.
Right.
Assuming everything is going peachy with him and Taylor Swift, you get her too. I mean, there's just, it's so much more than just inducting Jason Kelce into the Hall of Fame. It just puts the football, the National Football League at a different level. So for that reason, I think he's a first ballot.
Yeah, he represents so well. Yeah. So well.
And the awesome thing is going to be him and Dominic and Sue's going to go in together. Most likely the two of them, first ballot. Who battled each other for all those years. They'll be in there together.
And it'll be packed.
Oh yeah,
packed for somebody who Dad, as when we were there 2 years ago. And we had all the room in the world to sort of spread out during the actual induction. That won't be the case when Canton comes calling.
It'll be another Brian Dawkins 10 times over.
Well, just think, because it's in his backyard. He's from Cleveland.
Yeah, right.
So I mean, just that fact alone, how many people think that they know him? It's gonna be like, hey, all of Cleveland's gonna be there just because he's their guy.
Yep.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
What are we doing? John's rants or Lauren's layups? Where are we going?
We gotta go John's rants. Everybody needs that.
There you go. There we go. We got it. We got it going here. This one's going to be a little interesting because it's a little hard these days in Philly to have much of a problem. But here we go.
I'm sure you can find something.
Oh, I found something for sure.
I knew that.
Bryce Harper coming back to play in these games right now. I just think it's a little bit selfish. If this was Joel Embiid, we'd be all over him, right? So you got to call it both ways. For him to be coming back to play in the Dodgers game, you got Ohtani there. It's a show. He basically is coming back so he can play in the All-Star game. Is basically what he was doing. And if that was the case, and he's not fully 100% healthy, I think that's just wrong for the team. Trying to put himself ahead of the team, and I just don't like it. Because and then he ends up getting hurt yesterday. Which I mean, it's not because he came back. It was.
Well, is that the baseball gods sending a message?
It very well could be. You're right. He came back. He got hurt. Knock on wood. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like anything's wrong with his hand, because they said the MRIs came back negative today. So hopefully everything's fine. But just to be able to play in an all-star game, I just think is kind of foolish. I get it. It's your first time he would be playing because he was there last year. He got voted in as well and or was eligible and he got hurt.
But then he didn't even show up.
And he didn't show up, right?
Didn't even show up.
Yeah,
Mr. Showman.
Right. So it's just I just didn't like it. What? Because you could have had another 10, 12 days of rest on that hamstring. There's more important goals in this season, I think, for the Phillies than to have Bryce Harper show up for his first All-Star game.
Johnny, that's an interesting point, and that's a lot of good conversation into that rant that you put together. And I guess it remains to be seen now with, I don't know, there must have been some swelling in that hand.
Right.
To keep him, out of tonight's game. So
yeah, he was uncomfortable holding the bat.
That'll be that's going to be interesting to see how that, because you got 3 with the Dodgers and then you got 3 with the Oakland Athletics. So
right.
You may end up getting your wish after all.
And not that I don't want. Go there and get enjoy the experience. Like you said, because he talked about it Sunday Night Baseball. Was it Sunday night? No, what was it on Apple TV? Was what Friday night? Talking about Alec Boehm, being in the All-Star game. Him and crew are going to go out there, give him some pointers and his Gatorade and his timeout and that kind of stuff. And I'm like,
well, let me butt into your rant, because if you're going to dig into Harper, how about Schwarber? Does the same apply there?
It does a little bit, yes, but not as much. Only because they said his injury was a little bit less.
All right,
and he's not playing the field.
Yeah,
and
I got you.
So and maybe
he better not play the field again the rest of the season.
Oh, right, exactly. And I think that was maybe it would be a little bit different if he was playing the field for him rushing back as well.
Gotcha.
You got an 8-game lead. There's no need to push it, because if he hurt himself, just look at yesterday. He hits that line drive to Freddie Freeman and it pops out of his glove, and then he has to bust it down the first base line. He's not jogging. He's supposed to be taking it easy. He was running just as hard going then as he did at any point.
All right.
He tears that a little bit more, and our season, not that it's over because we have a lot of other pieces, but that's a big piece to be missing out of your lineup.
Yeah. It's an excellent point by you, John.
It's
and you're a big Harper guy too.
No, I am, but just like I always be tough on Joel Embiid for the same reasons. We didn't want him to come back for an All-Star appearance, just to play.
Well, we didn't want him to go play in the Olympics either.
Well, that too, which he's playing tonight. He's playing in a game against Canada. It's just so. Yeah, you got to call it both ways. When it is even a guy that you like, and and same with Joel Embiid. Those guys are franchise pieces that you got to keep, at healthy for when the time comes, for the right time. So,
Lauren, what do you got? Lauren's layups.
All right, you get 1 foursome of golf. What 3 living athletes are you playing golf with?
So it's me plus 3.
Right.
So that's the foursome.
Right. They have to be living and they have to be athletes. What 3 athletes are you picking to play golf with?
Well, I'm definitely taking John, because John was a golfer at Penn State.
So one of your people.
I don't know if any of you knew that, but John went to Penn State on a golf scholarship. So all I've heard, I don't know how many years I've known John, but I try to pick his brain, but he never wants to talk about it. So
okay.
I don't know, but I think he's got a little game in that bag.
A little bit.
I'm definitely taking John. I'm definitely taking Charles Barkley.
Okay.
Because I need the entertainment.
That's a good one. I like that.
And I'm trying to think of the player and the Celebrity Am is coming up out in where is it? Out in Vegas? No, it's out there in
Tahoe, isn't it?
Tahoe. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And there's a football player. Oh, man. Man, I should have got a cheat sheet. Damn.
All right. Well, we'll come. You think of it. We'll come back to you.
I'll never think of the player's name, but
Okay.
he's there every year because I love that celebrity stuff. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of gamesmanship.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot of hot dogging. A lot of stuff going on. But yeah, the board likes this question.
Mm-hmm. Johnny,
John and Barkley, and I got to come up with a fourth.
all right.
All right, I'm going to go with, and I hope I don't steal yours, Lauren, but Jason Kelsey for one. Now that he's golfing, just
Okay.
to hear the stories, everything. I think he would be a good time out there. I would also go with, I think, Chase Utley. And who would be my fourth? I think I'll go with Ryan Howard.
Okay.
Well,
All right. So
See,
you want all Philly players.
of course, yeah. You got to go all Phillies player.
Okay.
All Phillies.
So this was actually a question on New Heights not too long ago of a show that I listened. It's been on for a while now. It's from a
Jason
couple months.
actually said me, right?
Definitely. Yeah, they both did, actually, him and Travis.
Well,
They
he wants to
both-
arm wrestle again, so he wants.
Yeah,
to
they both said you. So obviously I've had a lot of time to think about it because I knew what the question was going to be. But I got to go Derek Jeter.
Okay.
I got to go Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And I got to go Peyton Manning.
All right, so I'm going to break this down. And the easy part is Peyton because that's your boy.
Mm-hmm.
MJ because
Who doesn't want to play golf with Michael Jordan? I mean, those stories have to be
priceless.
great
Yeah.
And the captain?
because it's Derek Jeter. I mean, what other reasons?
You had too much time to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like your picks. I definitely like your picks.
Yeah, you
You cheated.
checked all the boxes.
I was going to throw Tiger in there. It was a toss-up between Peyton and Tiger. But I felt like Peyton sort of edged that one out a little bit. But Tiger would be a good one, too.
I would do Tiger over Peyton.
Okay. Well, you didn't pick him, John.
I'll bet you Peyton's got game. He just reminds me.
I bet you they all do. Derek Jeter might be the only one that I don't know if he plays golf, but Michael Jordan does.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Well-
Michael Jordan is a good golfer. You know what they say. So
You know what? I'm gonna steal Jeremy Roenick off of Brian Brown's
Yeah.
list because he was always in that tournament, and he's another character. So to have him and Barkley and John and I, we may end up in the water.
Oh yeah.
And there's a whole lot of water around that course.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
That's a great layup. That's very thought provocative.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was good. I don't remember the segment on New News.
It was one of those like no dumb questions.
Oh. They were just talking golf the other day because Jason had to let everybody know because I guess Jason and Travis are playing in this tournament coming up.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Really?
And you have to wear pants. You
Mm,
can't wear shorts.
right.
And Jason's like, dude, he goes, I always wear pants when I golf. So, you learn a little bit more and more and more about Jason Kelsey.
Oh yeah. Jason's not a pants guy.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. But he got right back at Travis and he goes, well, you haven't seen any of my golf game lately. He goes, I always wear pants. So,
Yeah. Well, you'll probably see Jason out there with the knickers on. We're up to his
for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a course rule or I don't know what it is.
Some of the courses, yeah. But I would
know.
think those a lot of times with the Pan Am or the Pro Ams like that, they would lighten up the rules a little bit.
I don't know.
I know the major or the pro golfers can't do it.
I know my foursome ain't coming in first, but I'm going to have a lot of fun.
That's why I never became a pro golfer, because I'd have to wear pants, and that's not happening.
That's why
I gave up the golf game because of pants.
you got all the way to college and realized that you'd have to wear pants, so that was it.
Well, I was able to wear shorts in college. So
Okay.
yeah, it just wasn't.
It's just a wee bit chilly in Happy Valley there, my friend.
Yeah, but it's good though. It's fine. It's all good.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't feel my legs. You just
All right.
wear a windbreaker and you're good.
All right.
Breaker.
And
I think we covered all the bases tonight. I really do. I think,
oh yeah.
I think we should run every show like this and not practice or have any cheat sheets or any.
Well, and also we were giving the people an update about Nana, and then John came back in, and that update got cut short.
Yeah.
Oops, I didn't realize. I didn't get to that part.
Well, we were filling time as they do in the news business.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could come up with that was fresh in this dumb head of mine was, obviously my mom, who's taken up a lot of space the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I was just thanking everybody for being so nice, sending thoughts and prayers. A lot of people that are our friends know my mom. They've seen my mom. They've hung out, and they know what a character. You think I'm bad, you should meet mom. So, So, but anyway, she's pulled up residence at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital in Philadelphia. So we're praying and hoping for the best.
Absolutely.
So, she's 91 years old, and she didn't throw in the towel yet. So,
nope.
I think she's got a little game left. So that's what we're hoping for, anyway.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, she was a big Phillies fan. Big Phillies fan. Loved Charlie Manuel.
Oh yeah.
Every time we go to visit, Lauren makes sure, especially if there's a Phillies game, and this was before she had her eyes open. The Phillies game got put on the TV. So. Yeah.
You got to make sure the nurses know so they get the games on.
Right. For sure. But anyway, John, thank you. Lauren, thank you. Anthony, okay? He's surviving the heat because I know he's got some hot games.
He's surviving. Yeah. I think he's handling it like a champ.
All right. All right.
What'd she mumble?
She mumbled. What did you mumble?
Drinking water, I hope.
Drinking water, I hope.
Well, we got this new water bottle. I got to get the sticker off of it, and then
should have told John to bring up some Goo Gone.
Yeah, I know. I forgot. But that's the new water bottle seems to be working. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's all about the bottle.
So it's all executive approved?
Oh, it doesn't matter what you bring or what you use. It's just a matter of him using it.
Right. I always see him drinking your water out of your, what are those things called?
A Stanley, this thing?
Yeah, there you go. I always see him,
Because it's there, it's got a straw, it's convenient.
Got it.
Typical
guy, right?
Yeah, he's got to go get it. It's in the office. He's got to carry it around with him. It's a whole thing. So
you just got to get one of those clips so he can stick it on his pocket, on this hip there.
That would never happen. Never in a million years would he be seen with a water bottle hooked to his belt.
Could you imagine him trying to put the tarp on with that hooked on the water?
No. He gets frustrated putting the tarp on without any extra activity.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of that, is there any rain in the forecast for Friday night?
Probably. There's always rain in the forecast.
Oh boy.
Redden, baseball, rain. Yes.
On a Friday, rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. When is there not? I think it's supposed to rain pretty good here tonight after the game is over.
Okay.
Right now we're looking at 54% chance of rain. So sounds about right. Could rain any minute, not sure, but you'll get the table set up and then the drops will come.
There you go.
46% chance there won't be rain.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Mr. Positivity.
We'll see.
All right. One last shout out for Quinyon Mitchell tomorrow night at Carl's Cards and Collectibles, 6:30 to 8, signing autographs, meeting Eagles fans for the first time here in Philadelphia. It's his first public autograph session. So we're looking forward to making a new friend and hopefully building a great relationship for the future.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So we
He's
have
going to be a good one.
we have a way of bonding with players. So this is one I'm looking forward to, and hopefully, hopefully he puts us in the family section one Sunday.
There you go. That'd be nice.
There you go.
Yep.
Cool.
Any closing comments? You guys good?
See everybody next week at Hanrahan's.
Yeah, Hanrahan's Irish Pub. We got a great guest. I'm really interested in picking Todd Zalecki's brain. You know, he writes about the Phillies. You know, he's got his own podcast with who is it? John, help me out. Jim Salisbury
and Ruben Amaro Jr.
Ruben Amaro Jr. They do their own podcast, Philly something, right?
Philly Talk, I believe it is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
they got a cool little graphic. You know, the three of them in a golf cart. Todd's a pretty good dude. He comes in the store with his kids. They all want Pokemon. You know what I mean? And I don't know whether Todd's into it or
nuts.
What's that?
That must drive him nuts.
I don't know. He seems like the good dad, and he's like,
yeah, absolutely. But I'm sure he wishes they were picking up a pack of Tops instead.
Yeah.
He already posted about it on his Instagram page too, so props for that.
Good.
Oh yeah.
And he wrote the book, Doc. The whole Roy Halladay story. So a lot of good conversation there, a lot of good baseball talk, a lot of good, just good baseball lifer. And he's a young dude. He's a young guy, so he's got a great career ahead of him. And he's
will be able to get a lot of inside scoop on what's going to happen at the trade deadline.
Yeah, he's pretty. He's a free talker. Like he doesn't mind sharing stuff.
Yeah, we get him to open up.
Yeah, we do. I don't know if it's because he's in the store and we're not recording it, but we'll find out next week at Hanrahan's. Come on out.
Yeah.
We'll have our usual raffle prizes. We got some great ones this week for Friday night out in Baseball Town. So,
yeah.
You hit this level, right? And you can't go back. You got to keep going up, right? So, you can't bring out Mike Schmidt one week and bring out Ty Wigginton the next.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? That's just not going to work.
No.
So, but here's the book. Here's my associate producer just brought it over to me.
Wow. Look at her.
Yeah. Well, she got her shot in her knee today, so she's bouncing.
There you go.
Yeah, she's bouncing. So she's
hopefully,
good for
signed it, and I don't know what this is.
Yeah. It's a book.
Yeah, Todd's going to have the books there
That's
on
his daughter, his wife.
Wednesday.
I'm sorry?
Todd's going to have the books hopefully on Wednesday as well at the show. So
nice.
Yeah,
all right.
It'll be good to go.
Looking forward to it. And then the following week, we're back out at Buffalo Wild Wings with a guest to be announced. We're seconds away from confirming a name, but we haven't confirmed that yet. But we will be doing that in the next day or so.
Yes.
We got a cool alumni day event at the store. A couple of old Phillies rolling in. It's always good to bond with some of these old Phillies, and we're looking forward to that on August 17th.
Yep.
And we've got a couple other Eagles signings in the works. So we got a busy summer in between all of that, I'm trying to go to Pittsburgh next weekend for Pirates Phillies. Then the following week, it's Ocean City, New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're busy.
Birthday.
We're busy. Yeah. You know, Mom and I were just talking about this the other night. I usually get to celebrate the birthday month.
Mm.
Haven't been able to do that.
Why?
Well, because there's been a lot of, worrying about Nana and just.
Well, any Friday you come up to Reading, you don't seem to have a problem.
Oops. Just thrown under the bus.
I can't help it when somebody hands me a beer.
Nobody hands it to you. You freely go get it.
Well, the bartender handed it to him.
Thank you.
That'd be rude if he says no thank you.
I'm sorry,
John, you know what I mean? It'd be like somebody handing you a water bottle. You know what I mean?
Or a Sprite.
Or
a Sprite is a little more comparable.
Yeah.
How many water bottles you go through in a day, John?
8,
10, 12?
8?
8 to 10, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're the most hydrated person I know.
He's 2 cases in this week.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's just today alone.
Yogi does bring up a good point. What do you expect for Fiesta Friday?
Yep, exactly. The only other thing that would be good would be taco.
Mm-hmm. Got that right.
There you go.
You know?
Guys, it's been great.
Yes.
Good show. Appreciate it. We figured out our power shortage.
Oh, yeah.
And we made it through. So have a good rest of your night, everybody. Good rest of your week. We're Thursday tomorrow, Friday the next day, and we got another weekend. So
Oh, yeah.
we must be doing something right.
Yep. This year is just flying by too fast, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
So.
Yep. When they say July 4th hits, the summer shot.
Right.
I don't know whoever made that up, but
Yeah, it's crazy.
it is.
It's crazy. So
Johnny, I will see you tomorrow. Lauren, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
I may see a few people on the board tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yep. Come on out. It's gonna be a good one.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Take care, be well, and be safe with this weather. So
Yes.
see you guys in the very near future.
Yes. See you later.
Take care.